Hi guys, today's video is going to be a first impressions and a review of the MAC Studio Fix foundation, so I hope you guys enjoy. Firstly, I'm going to start with the post-shave balm and I'm going to apply it to one half of my face so I can see the difference between the prime side and the non-prime side. This is the MAC Studio Fix in NC15 because at the moment I've not got a fake tan on, so fingers crossed this matches my skin, otherwise it's going to be a bit awkward if I'm got a brown face and a white body, but we'll put it to the test and see if it does the job. And the one thing that's annoying already is that it hasn't got a pump, so that's kind of annoying because I think the other MAC ones have pumps but for some reason this one doesn't, so you know, that's a couple points off, but you know, it's not really the main, you know, thing. As long as the foundation does the job, I'm not really bothered, but still, pump would have been helpful. So, okay, so I've just dampened a beauty sponge. Now I'm not sure, to try and put it on here is going to be a bit difficult, so by the looks of it, I'm going to have to put it on the back of my hand and then dip the sponge, so that's kind of annoying because I hate putting makeup on the back of my hand, because it always leaves like a big makeup stain and then it's just like, eh. So far it seems like it's not extra runny. It's obviously not moving off my hand. So it's not super thick, but I'll just say like, I don't know, medium thickness. No, it has quite a strong painty smell. There we go. I'm just going to apply it to this side. So far it seems to be quite full coverage. Obviously I've blended a small amount across my face, but you can still see the marks. And I don't know, it looks like it's a little bit too dark. I'll see how it goes when it's all done, but it looks to me as if, yeah, it's a little bit dark for my skin, as you can probably see the difference, but that's okay. I can always order, I don't know, is there another colour that's lighter than NC15? I think there's NW10, but then that one's a bit too pink, so I don't know how I'm gonna get one to match, but we'll just see. Well, that is pretty dark. Oh dear. That's the problem when you're fair skinned, everything is just doesn't match. It's just, it's a disaster. It's almost like easier tanning and just being able to buy all the foundations, because seriously, if you guys know of any fair skin foundation, please let me know, because this is just so annoying. Because doesn't people forget that there's pale skin people? It's almost like if you're tanned in the middle, you're all cool, but if you're fair skinned or if you have really dark skin, it's like there's not many foundations that sort of, you know, are very wide coverage of colours for everyone, so it's really hard. Like the ones that I have found for my skin they haven't got good coverage, and it's just like I just want a nice white full coverage foundation. I don't really like how it's applying with the sponge because it's really hard to blend, so I'm just going to change to a brush. So I'm just going to use my Zoeva Silk Finish brush to get this blended in, because it's there, that's better. It seems like the type of foundation that it sets quite quickly, so you kind of need to make sure you blend it out as fast as you can. And I've got quite big pores on my nose, so hopefully this doesn't make those look bigger, because you don't want that. I don't know what I'm thinking about this so far. I mean, it's definitely full coverage. It seems like the type of foundation that if you had oily skin, it seems like quite sort of matte and dry. Not matte and dry, but like matte. So I'm assuming that this would be good at combating oiliness. So that is the foundation done. As you can see, it's a little bit dark for my skin tone. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but in person it definitely looks like I could go a shade down. I've also noticed that it feels quite heavy on my skin, like when I move it around I can just like feel, I don't know, it just feels like there's something like tight across your skin. So it is quite of a heavy foundation, but I think this will be really good if you have any blemishes or anything you want to cover, because it is very full coverage. The overall finish isn't bad, but I still find it quite thick on my skin. I'm just going to do the rest of my makeup. This is what the finished look looks like with all the makeup done, and I'll check back in every few hours and show you guys how it's going. Okay, so I'm back for my first checkup. It's now 10 p.m. and I put my makeup on at 6 p.m, so that's been quite a few hours. I'm just gonna take a look and see how it looks. So far I've noticed that under my eyes there's a little bit of creasing, but I'm not sure if that's my concealer or the foundation, because I know the concealer I do have does crease a little bit if I don't powder it properly, so it could just be that. But I've noticed also the creasings like in my laugh lines and especially in my forehead, so I know that it's obviously not, it's not just the concealer, it's also, I mean, the foundation's up here, so it is creasing a little bit. Not majorly, but I'd just say mainly the main bit of creasing is just across my forehead. I feel like it's sort of looks a bit better than it did, as in like once it oxidizes, I think it sort of, I don't know, it looks a little bit more skin-like than it did when I first applied it, which is good. Although I did accidentally forget I had makeup on, and I did touch my face and a little bit's come off here, but I didn't touch it very hard, like I just went like that. But, you know, that's sort of, but other than that, it seems to be alright. And a little, oh, I'd say a little bit of shine on my nose, not really anything that bad. I don't know if it's oxidized in colour or not, I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but there's definitely a difference when I'm looking in the mirror here in person. But even though it's a slight bit dark for me, it's doable. Like as long as you blend it a lot down your neck, it's passable. But ideally I would want a lighter shade than this, but you know, you can get away with it. So that's my first update. I'll check back in at about 12 o'clock. I'll see how it goes by then, and also I'll give you my final review and conclusion to what I think. I'm now back for my final checkup. It's now 1 AM and I'll just see what it looks like. So yeah, it's gotten a lot more oily across my nose. So it's kind of gone to the point now where I'd probably powder it a little bit, but it's not anything super crazy. Still got the creases. They've sort of sunk in a little bit more. The blush is still on. The blush has lasted really well. My lipstick's kind of like gone a bit funny. But obviously that's not a part of this, but it's pretty much just the same as my last check. Yeah, other than the oiliness on my nose, it's pretty much the same. It's held up pretty well actually. So I think overall I'd give this a 7 or 7.5. Like, I think it would be really good for someone who wants a full coverage foundation, because it's definitely full coverage and will cover flaws. This is definitely a good one for you. As I said before, maybe not the best if you're super dry skin. I think for oily skin this would actually be quite good. Like, yeah, you will get oily eventually, but I think it will last quite a while to combat the oiliness for quite a lot more than maybe some of your other foundations would. So that's probably a plus. Like, I didn't get oily for quite a long time. Like, I don't know how many hours it's been. If I put it on at 6 and it's now 1 AM, I mean, the oiliness is like barely noticeable. So considering I've had it on for so long, it's held up pretty well. It's probably not something I'll wear on a regular basis, only because I find it quite thick and it's just the blendability wasn't as good as I was expecting. And I think it's also it has like a quite heavy feeling on your skin, like across your face and stuff, and I think that's kind of, it feels like you want to just wash it off after a while if you're wearing it for too long. But overall I think it's, yeah, fairly good. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see any more reviews on any foundations or makeup or any first impressions, just let me know in the comments, and yeah, see you guys next time. Bye. Nivea Men Post Shave Balm, and you're probably wondering, like, why am I like raving about a post shave balm? Like, am I a man? No.